Alright, here's another quick update. Someone asked if I could do a little video of how I installed the Planet Bike Cascadia ALX fenders, a 27.5 by 60 millimeter. They work pretty good. Really turned this into a great commuter bike. I love the way they look with the little mud flaps. I'll talk about those. I did have the SR Suntour SP, SP12, whatever, the NCX. I had the seat post, but I had issues with it. I'll tell you what happened. So I went back to the stock seat post, and instead I decided to put a Brooks Springer saddle, which I really like the way it makes the bike look overall. Nice little commuter, great bike. Going on a year and a half with it. Haven't had any issues with it. The cool thing about this bike is you can fit 700C by 40 millimeter. If you happen to get 700C wheels, on-road wheels, you could fit those on with up to a 700C by 40C tire. It's close, but it fits. You know, it looks good too. My wife has got a Diamondback, and I put them on there just to see how they fit. Front fits no problem. The rear, they're close, but they fit just fine. But here's the overall picture of the bike. FSA swept handlebars. I got the XLC stem riser. I really like the way that looks because it brought it closer and it brought it up a little bit more to give it more of that retro style. Plus I love the way the Springer saddle looks. So, and I'll talk about the Schwalbe G1 tires too. Great rolling tire. Only issue I have with them is they're too thin. They're too thin. Best rolling tire I've ever had on a bike. They're too thin, and anything I'd be sitting there patching up tires like every other day. So I got tired of that. I ended up putting thorn-proof tubes. They're a little bit heavier, but I haven't had any issues with them. They don't roll as good with the thorn-proof tubes, but it still rolls pretty good as is, better than it did stock. So here's the issue I had with the Suntour saddle, and I'll spell it correctly in the title, but it bolted up from the side. It didn't bolt up from the bottom here. It bolted up from the side, and no matter what I did, put thread lock in the screws, tighten it down a little more than the specs, my saddle would slide backwards. It never stayed centered. It slid backwards. I contacted the company. They said maybe I was doing something wrong. It's only meant for 8 millimeter rails. I told them I'm not an idiot. I've been working on bikes a couple years now, riding bikes for a couple years now. I know how to work on them. So they eventually gave me my money back. I got my money back, and I bought this Brooks saddle, which I love. I really love the finish of it. It's a lot more comfortable than it looks. Everyone that looks at it says that's got to be uncomfortable. It's comfortable, and the more I ride, the more comfortable it gets. So that's a great look to it. Just looks retro. I get a lot of compliments on this bike. Okay, next, the front fender, no issues whatsoever bolting on. The only issue you might have is right here where it bolts up. Train went by, so I paused the video, so you'll see a slight glitch. Okay, right here, it's a tight fit, but I did have to bend them just a little bit, just a nice little pinch to get it up in there. It wasn't bad, it was just snug, so I pinched it just a little bit on each side to get it to fit. But I am running 27.5 by 235 tires. I love the way it makes the bike look. 6'2", 275 pounds. I'm a big dude. It just fits me good. Everyone loves the way the bike looks because they say it fits me. This is the issue you'll run into on the back if you're putting them on the Redux. On their website, Raleigh says that it's got ready for fenders. Who the heck bolts fenders up here? Every bike I've ever owned, the hole is right here. The only thing I had to do, put the bracket on, bolt it down, get a little rubber mallet, and just bang it down to kind of wrap around it. That's the only thing. The issue for the rear, and it's extremely close right there. So what you have to do, you can see right down there, I'm running a spacer. I'm running just a copper spacer that I found right there to give it the gap I needed right there. If not, it rubs right here and it won't let you bolt it up right. That was the easiest way to do it. I've seen some people actually cut it out a little bit right there and it sits against the frame, but you get squeaks like that. They had that squeak, so I just put that spacer right down there. Works well. Other than that, they bolt up perfectly fine right there. Right here, front. It's got, sorry, I just turn on autofocus so some of them may be a little bit blurry. It's got these spacers which give it the clearance for the disc brake calipers. So other than that, that's about the only thing I've done to this bad boy. Fenders, seat, the swept handlebars. I really love those swept handlebars. I did change to a 2812 cassette back here because I'm running an external bottom bracket with Shimano Z 175mm cranks and a 34 tooth. With this, I can actually utilize all my gears. The factory settings, you really couldn't utilize the last two gears. This one I can utilize all of them. It works great. And I took the bash guard off and I got an Originate chain guard chainstay. I don't know exactly what you call it, but it holds the chain from falling off. So any other questions, let me know. I can answer about this bike. It's been a great solid bike. I really love it. Like I said, it's matte black, gets a lot of compliments, nothing fancy. It's just a perfect commuter. Like I said, you could put the 700C wheels or 29er wheels, as long as you don't go over a 40C tire, you're good. Everything fits great. So there it is.